Every relationship hides a story, and every story carries pain. Welcome to Cheating Stories Insights, where truth bleeds through words. She didn't knock. She never did anymore. The office door swung open, her heels slicing through the silence like knives through fabric. The scent of her perfume, expensive, assertive, filled the air before she spoke. "Fire your entire team by Monday," she said coldly, dropping a stack of papers on my desk, "or I'll do it for you." I didn't look up right away. I just watched the papers scatter slightly. Contracts, schedules, lives. My team. My people. When I finally raised my head, she was already at the window, her reflection staring back at her with the satisfaction of control. She'd always loved control. "Understood?" she pressed. I nodded slowly. Quietly. "Good." Her heels clicked as she turned, her tone calm, calculated. "We need to clean house, darling. You've gotten too soft." Darling? The word felt like mockery now. When the door closed behind her, I leaned back in my chair and let the silence sink its teeth in. What she didn't know was simple. That team she wanted gone? They weren't just mine. They were hers too. She just didn't remember the day she crossed the line that made them choose sides. It started 3 months ago, when she joined the company. The new manager. My wife. She walked into that boardroom like she owned it, and maybe, in her mind, she did. The company had been mine for years, built from the ground up. She'd married into it, then maneuvered herself into a leadership role after the merger. The board loved her confidence. The staff feared her precision. And I watched her turn my empire into her stage. At first, I admired her ambition. Then, I saw what she did with it. The way she cut people down in meetings just to feel taller. The way she restructured departments that didn't applaud loud enough. And the way she smiled when she signed off on layoffs, as if power itself were the narcotic she couldn't quit. At home, her tone changed too. More orders. Less warmth. Love became logistics. Kisses became transactions. Something about her eyes when she looked at me. They weren't looking at me anymore. They were looking through me. Calculating. I started noticing the whispers. The private calls at midnight, the late work dinners that turned into mornings, the same name appearing again and again on her calendar. Daniel Hartman, head of corporate strategy, my former protege. I didn't ask questions, not yet. Questions alert liars. Silence disarms them. Instead, I began documenting every expense report, every meeting log, every personal message that somehow bled into company communication channels. Then I had the IT department, my department, run a discreet search through her work laptop, encrypted folders, hidden messages. And what they found wasn't just infidelity. It was betrayal layered in spreadsheets, a plan to restructure the company by ousting me, firing my loyal staff, and positioning herself and Daniel as the new power pair, the visionary management duo that would modernize operations. My wife, my company, my people, and she wanted to take it all. By the time she walked into my office with that order, "Fire your entire team," I already knew everything. But I said nothing. I simply smiled and nodded. The weekend that followed was silent. Cold. She spent most of it working. I spent mine preparing. Every document she'd hidden, I'd duplicated. Every illegal transfer she'd signed, I'd traced. Every conversation between her and Daniel, I had recorded. By Sunday night, I had built a dossier so complete it could end 2 careers and a marriage in a single breath. But I didn't send it yet. I wanted her to see it, to feel it, because betrayal deserves an audience. Monday morning arrived crisp and sharp, like the edge of something final. She entered the boardroom before me, confident as ever, tailored suit, immaculate hair, eyes full of quiet arrogance. The board was already seated. My team stood behind me, silent, loyal. She smiled when she saw them. "Perfect," she said. "You've brought them in for the announcement. Efficient for once." I sat, folded my hands, waited. She launched into her presentation, slides flashing, her voice commanding, rehearsed. Underperforming sectors, outdated leadership, the need for new vision. Each word another knife, each sentence another incision into what we'd built together. When she paused for effect, I rose slowly. "Before we proceed," I said evenly, "I'd like to show something." I connected my laptop to the screen, clicked play. Her voice filled the room. A recorded call. "Once his team's gone, the board will have no choice but to back me," she'd said. "And Daniel, you'll get your promotion. We just need him out of the way." Gasps. Silence. Her face drained of color. Then came the emails, the financial transfers, the falsified reports. Slide after slide, her ambition unraveling in front of every person she'd tried to control. She tried to speak. "This is taken out of context?" "No," I interrupted. "This is the context." I turned to the board. "Effective immediately, I'll be stepping back from day-to-day management. But the board should also know my wife and Mr. Hartman have been under internal investigation for fraud and misconduct. Legal is already in touch." Her hand trembled. The room went still, and for the first time in months, she had nothing left to say. I didn't stay to watch the fallout. I walked out as security escorted her from the building, Daniel trailing behind her, ashen, silent, broken. The air outside felt cleaner, colder. My phone buzzed, a message from her. Just one word: why? I didn't reply. Some questions aren't asked for answers. I drove home in silence, past the life we'd built on shared ambition and quiet deceit. There was no rage left in me, no love either, only understanding. She'd taught me something valuable, that power reveals more than it corrupts. And sometimes, to reclaim what's yours, you have to let someone destroy it first. When I reached the office again hours later, my team was still there, loyal, steady. One of them asked softly, "What happens next, sir?" I looked at them, then out the window where the city glowed like a field of embers. "We rebuild," I said. And as I turned away, I felt nothing